We're live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm alive. I feel pretty good today. I'm alive. Um, and I'm live on Twitch.tv, the website that I love. Happy Wednesday morning. Just gonna sort of get myself spun up for a day, a busy day. Have had a very busy week, but that's not a bad thing. It's been a good thing. Beachtron's here. Yo, we are out here, as we say. We out here. I out here. Great to out here with you. Thank you so much for joining. I am feeling pretty good, despite the fact that I'm still sleeping on the floor in the guest room while the bedroom continues to get worked on. I got a good night's sleep, a few of them. I played a bit of a video game, and I feel like I've said this on Slack or on Slack. I've said this on Slack. That's where my mind is at. I've said this on Slack. I've said this. My microphone. Oh to God. Oh God. It did stuff on my computer. Hold on. My microphone is fighting. One second. Let's try this. Oh God. A lot of things just happened. Um, I said this on X, I guess. I shouldn't say anything on X anymore, on Twitter. On Blue Sky, though, I've been talking about being in a video game rut, and that's been difficult in a weird way because I just have not been able to get myself into anything and nothing has been sticking, not through any fault of the games, but just because of my own brain. And I started playing the other day Mini Shoot Adventures, which is sort of like a bullet hell Zelda. Um, yeah, like the bullet hell Zelda, basically, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible, and it has completely broken my rut. I am ready to play every single video game now, and that is fantastic. That's been good. So I'm very eager to do that. I'm eager to read some manuals. Beachtron says I've been home for 3 days dealing with water heater issues. So not the same, but I feel you. Honestly, that's rough. That is the bedroom stuff for me, not being able to sleep in my own bed. At least we've got the mattress down on the floor. It's a bit cramped. It's a little weird, but I can sleep there. And I only have to deal with it when I am going to sleep and waking up. Water heater issues are a nightmare. So Beachtron, I am sorry to hear that. I hope that it works out for you. That is no fun. That is rough times. And Yeah, water heater stuff. We had our heater go out for a little bit a few weeks ago, or no, a few months ago, excuse me, and it was a crummy experience. So hope that gets better for you. Hope everybody's doing well. I don't know. I get the view count says 2 viewers, but who knows? I've found that it's sort of all over the place. Home team game dev, thank you. Doing a-okay today. That's awesome. I know that you have a brief stint of availability today. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it a bit. I've got an announcement, and I think that the announcement, this is so stupid. I've got an announcement. Things keep popping up on my computer. My announcement, as it were, I keep getting this thing saying stream info. Update your stream title, category, tags, and more to attract viewers who are searching for streamers like you. Later. Not right now. I'm not going to do this. Oh my God. Hide feature hints, please. Thank you. Uh, Live TV, live streaming. I think I'm going to change the name of the show. I don't know. It doesn't really need a name or have a name, right? But video game manual story time, it just never quite has worked for me. It feels weird, but I just needed to give it a name. I'm thinking of booklet club. There's like book club. Can we do booklets? I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you think about booklet club or anything else. But while we think about that, I want to get ahead to reading a little bit of a manual that I didn't even think about until recently. And I was talking with the folks over at Flashback 64, Gui and McKenna. They are amazing. They are great. And they have an awesome podcast. You should listen to the podcast. They are doing a bunch of GoldenEye stuff right now. Flashback 64, they are going through the N64 library, talking with folks, having cool guests on and it's a lot of fun. Anyway, listening to them, talking with them a little bit, they were calling out a little game on the Wii U that I remember loving called ZombiU, which is a great game. And it is something that I didn't even think about because the Wii U manuals, and I remember this from even before I was hyper fixated on manuals, they aren't that interesting usually. There's not much to them. They're like 2 pages, and there's not a whole lot going in there. But I really like ZombiU, so I figured let's take a flyer, let's give it a shot, see what's in there. It looked like there might be some flavor text, so we'll see what that looks like. Apologies in advance if it's basically just here's how to turn on your Wii U. Short, yeah, ZombiU, short for Zombie University. Of course it is, absolutely. I don't want to go there, but I hear they have a great mortuary sciences department. Um, Speaking of having a hard time naming things, Zombie U is just a heck of a name. It is, it's incredible. I think when they brought it to other systems, didn't they just call it Zombie ZOMBI? I feel like I remember that. But we'll read a little bit about it. It says zombies have brought London to its knees. Use your Wii U gamepad, the ultimate survival kit, and fight back. I thought those were two separate things. Use your Wii U gamepad, comma, the ultimate survival kit. But I'm learning that in this game, when they say the ultimate survival kit, they are talking about the Wii U gamepad. So use your Wii U gamepad, which is the ultimate survival kit, and fight back. You've got door hacking, you've got weapon crafting, black light scanner, inventory management. This is a great game. I'm not sure that I would call out inventory management on the back of the box like this. And then it just has a picture of the Wii U thing, and it's a picture of a zombie's face, and it just says sniper. Over 15 ways to use the gamepad, escape London in the single player campaign, control zombie hordes in the multiplayer mode, and permadeath, one bite and you die. Then your character comes back a zombie. This game is so stressful. I was saying online, I got myself into a little bit of a thing saying that the Wii U doesn't have a lot of games that you really need to go back to that aren't, on. Nope. Is that going to do it? I got myself blurry. Well, we'll do it. We'll stick with it. It's like I've got a blur. I don't know if it's a blur or like, a Barbara Walters style Vaseline filter over the camera to make me look younger. But that's where I'm at. Anyway, this is probably the one game, and I'm actually going to stand by it. The Wii U is great. The Wii U is very cool. At the time, I really loved it because it was very unique. But most of the games worth really checking out, I feel like have been ported to other systems. Um, but I don't think that there's a proper way, really proper way to enjoy Zombie U because I'm going to try to, is this going to fix it? Oh, it fixed it. Okay. It was focused on Zombie U. There's just nothing else like this game. So thank you to the folks at Ubisoft, for making this game. So anyway, here we go. We're gonna open it up. One thing that the Wii U had, can't really do this on a stream. Um, but the Wii U has these discs. Yeah, I'm sorry. It has these discs. Stop me if you've heard this before. But the thing about the discs on the Wii U that I don't quite understand, and maybe Home Team Game Dev knows the story behind this. Maybe VGTron does, but I don't understand. The sides of the disc are like rounded and smooth and soft in a way that's extremely pleasing. So if you do have an interest in checking out your Wii U, go ahead and grab a game and just feel the sides. It has a feeling like no other disc. All the other discs are sort of sharper edges. This is very soft and pleasing. So maybe that's a Nintendo safety measure. I don't know. But let's go to the manual. And in this manual, you can tell already that this instruction booklet club, this instruction booklet is thicker than most other Wii U booklets that I've seen at the very least. Although now that I kind of want to check out Devil's Third. Maybe I'll try that at some point. I won't spend money on that because that's too expensive. But you can see that there's actual stuff in here. It's not just a couple of things. Let's go ahead and read a little bit about it. By this point, I should note that there is no Nintendo seal of quality. I think in a recent conversation I was having with somebody, we were trying to figure out when they stopped the Nintendo seal of quality. They still had it through GameCube. They still had it, I think, through the Wii. I just dropped a bunch of games looking for a Wii game. I should clean up this office. But they don't have it here for the Wii U. So no Nintendo seal of quality, no promise that this game is amazing. But there is a promise for some story. Bijatron says Wii U discs are proprietary to avoid BD licensing, Blu-ray licensing. That's pretty interesting. So it's not a Nintendo safety measure so much as it is a counterfeit, anti-counterfeit measure. That's pretty interesting. Well, either way, it feels great. Feels great on the fingers. Feels great on the fingers. London is falling. Are you prepared? This is a game I should have figured out a way to get a like a reverb thing at this point. I was looking it up online. It looks complicated, and I am not a smart man, so I haven't done it yet. But this game calls for reverb. Are you prepared? It is 2012 and the last blight upon us. It was foretold. For the second time in history, a great plague has enveloped London in a fog of death. Big Ben tolls as hundreds upon thousands of the unprepared die or are infected by a sickness worse than death. You are still breathing, for now. But how long will you survive in the labyrinth of London streets and underground, abandoned by the outside world, surrounded by the infected? The horrifying remains of humanity ravaged by the foul disease shuffle through the streets, waiting to prey on your living flesh at every turn. So, who's ready for some fun? Be prepared. Rules of survival. Be prepared. For quick access, place items in your holsters located at the top corner of your Wii U gamepad screen. Touch any holster on the screen and use the equipped item. Slow and steady wins the race. Take your time. There's a typo. Slow and steady wins the race. Take your time is one word. Loot anything that's not nailed down and don't panic. If you run around like a chicken with its head cut off, you will die. Again, a lot of these manuals have just life lessons in general. This is one of them. At the end of the day, who lives and who dies comes down to one thing: preparation. Research your surroundings, scavenge for supplies, stock up your safe house, and do whatever it takes. Run for your life. Feeling overwhelmed? No need to kill every blighter in London to survive. Every blighter in London to survive. There's no shame. He's a right blighter. I'm gonna get this is bad. Sorry, it's a bad impression. I'm sorry. It's insensitive. There's no shame in living to fight another day. Push your way past as many infected as you can and flee to save priceless ammo. Sometimes retreat is your best option. There are a lot of exclamation points in here, and I love exclamation points. Keep your distance! Exclamation point. Always keep your bloody distance, or the infected will clamp down on you like rabid dogs and push them the hell back before they get in your face. This is good. This is a good manual. Buying just 1 second of Buying just 1 second to cock that weapon will save your arse 100 times. Buying just 1 second to cock that weapon will save your arse 100 times. A cricket bat won't save your bacon, not against a horde, but it's handy one on one, and best of all, it's silent. Stay healthy, stay human. Your health gauge turns from green to red and empties each time you were wounded by an infected, an explosion, or other. When the or other. When the gauge is completely empty, your character dies. Beware. One bite will kill you. No second chances. If you are grabbed and bitten, you will become one of the infected. Keep your strength up at all times. Food and medikits will help you replenish your health gauge, so be sure to stock up. Head on over to Tesco. Buy time, use your environment. If you delay your enemies even briefly, it may be enough to save your life. Closing doors behind you will buy time. Just remember that wooden doors can be breached, unlike metal ones. God, this game is so good. Buy time by barricading wooden doors. If you have planks in your inventory, you can reinforce a door. Remember, metal doors can't be barricaded. Be quiet, it says with an exclamation point. The infected may be brain dead, but they can still see you and hear you. Stay out of sight and avoid making noise if you want to live longer. And finally, be smart. Destroying an infected's brain is the best way to kill it quickly. Avoid wasting ammo and aim for the head. Create diversions whenever possible. Bright lights and noise attract these dimwits. these dimwits. So use flares and observe the environment. Whoa! For shit you can blow up. Bright lights and noise attract these dimwits, so use flares and observe the environment for shit you can blow up. This is not a sweary podcast. I do want this to be a family-friendly podcast. This is story time after all. in the mornings. But I do want to call out that the phrase that they use in the ZombiU manual is bright light and noise attract these dimwits, so use flares and observe the environment for shit you can blow up. I think that's the first use of the SH word I've seen in a manual thus far. The manual for Destruction Derby says piss, but this is on another level. I also was not. It says that Beachatron. It really says that. It genuinely says the bright lights and noise work on these dimwits and look for shit you can blow up. So this is where the game got its M rating. It's not from violence. It's not from zombie horror. It's not from thematic elements for mature themes. It's for the manual. This this bloody manual. You are not alone. I thought I was done. Stay be smart, but I was wrong. You are not alone. Parentheses online. With the blacklight feature on your prepper pad, you can reveal and read messages left by other players online. Make sure to read the message rating before deciding who to trust. Use the spray can to leave messages for other survivors across the city. Press the B button to open up the messaging interface and choose the icons you want to use. Then touch the paint button on your Wii U gamepad screen. This message will be readable by other players online. Do not send online messages illegal or could infringe the rights of others. Do not include personal information and make sure you have obtained all necessary rights and permissions from third parties. I am always making sure that I've obtained all necessary rights and permissions from third parties before I chat online. Don't leave home without your viricide. Thanks to Dr. Peter Knight, you have a syringe full of viricide. Press and hold the ZR button when the infected grabs you, but before it bites you, to poison it. Your syringe contains one dose, but may be refilled. When your viricide shot is empty, you can refill it. Scan to find infected with the required antibodies. Analyze to isolate a swollen gland. Kill the infected and recover the pus you need to refill your syringe. Hey, Psycock the Solly, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for chatting. You missed some swearing in a video game manual. Wii U, ZombiU on the Wii U, a family-friendly Nintendo system title, says the SH word. So can't be reading this one to my kids at night. Mercy kill your former survivors. When you respawn as a new survivor in the safe house, you can put your former, and now infected, character out of his or her misery and loot the contents of the bug out bag. That's exciting. When other ZombiU players online become infected, they will appear as non player characters in your game. You can kill and loot the items on the other player's backpack at the time he or she died. So you get to put them out of your misery and get their stuff. I love it. Don't cheat, on your favorite gun. They almost got us. Guns, oh boy. Guns, I got to find out who wrote this. I am in awe. I love it. This is very cool. This manual is great. Uh, Guns are like condoms, see? I didn't expect that when I started reading it. Guns are like condoms, see? Everyone gets the biggest one they can, and before you know it, they've discharged all over the floor. Find one that fits and stick with it. Find Find your weapon of choice and commit to it. Your firing speed, power, and precision will improve, in addition to the weapon's capacity. In another life, maybe you'll make a different choice. The prepper pad is a rat in a maze with tech. Unlock new areas on your minimap by hacking CCTV cameras. You don't want to walk around blind. A better map means better planning, and beware your radar only detects moving objects. This should have been an after hours. Beijatron points out this should have been an after hours manual. I wasn't expecting it. I just wanted to celebrate Zombie U, and I didn't realize there was so much to celebrate. This is a good one. Scan, loot, live. Your environmental scanners allow you to analyze and mark loot on your minimap. Use your gamepad to scan the area and see what you can loot. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. And then the survivors link. Holy smokes. I was gonna read this and I was gonna read Fighting Force, but we'll see if we have time for Fighting Force. I might have to go another route after this because I do have meetings. Um The survivor links basically just tells you again to it's online. It's an online feature, so it reminds you to obtain all necessary rights and permissions before from third party before posting online. Um, the backpack, my resources. Your inventory includes a backpack and your holsters. Place the items of first necessity in the holsters for quick access. Good preparation is the key to survival. Life is too precious to waste. My gear. Your inventory contains quest items like keycards. Unlike gear and basic resources, you retain all quest items when you take on the role of each new survivor. When your character dies, you'll have to retrieve these mission items to complete the game. As a new survivor, you can recover them by killing your former infected survivor and looting his backpack, or picking them up in a small satchel dropped where he or she died of a more natural death. My ID card. Your ID card displays information about your current survivor's gameplay stats and more. The higher your survival scored, the higher your survivor score, the more competent your survivor. How long will your survivors live? You get some points for your ID card, so there's like a leveling up system. Um, let's see here. Stock up and load out in the safe house. Use the safe house chest to store items where your backpack is full and manage loadouts as you plan your outings. All item stats here can be recovered later. That's good. The workbench allows you to upgrade things across London. Um, let's see. Sleep to save your game. CCTV. It tells you about hacking CCTVs. So this is pretty good. Then manholes. We'll just read this last one here. Manholes are shortcuts that lead to London's underground and provide you the fastest, safest way to travel around the city. True currently, true in the future. Each manhole leads directly to other manholes you have discovered and unlocked. Each time you die, use a manhole in the safe house to get back to the area where your previous survivor died or became infected. The multiplayer, just so you know, there's multiplayer. The King of the Zombies has organized his own sadistic London games to entertain his bloodthirsty subjects. Uh, the zombies aren't the real villains. Play as King Boris. I got a noise. There was a noise on the screen. It happens occasionally that there'll be a noise from Twitch, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know how Twitch works. So apologies if you did something cool. I appreciate it. Play as King Boris, crazed boss of a violent gang and self proclaimed king of the zombies, to beat all survivors, one at a time. Play as a survivor and attempt to outwit the king of zombies and his brain dead gladiators. So, you get a lot of controls. You can see all this sort of good stuff here. Ba, ba, ba. And there you go. It tells you a little bit about who other multiplayer modes, bread and circuses. Um, assault, killing box, and switch roles to see who makes the most efficient killing machine. I love that. And survival. So that is the manual for ZombiU, a 2012 game with potentially, and I'm going to say this right now, potentially my favorite manual I've read yet on the show. I did not expect all that much, but true to the game itself, underrated gem. Thank you to ZombiU and the folks at Ubisoft for making it and for putting together this manual. If anybody has a bead on who might have written this manual, I would love to send them a note of appreciation. There are no credits at the end of this. We've gotten to that point where they don't do it. Maybe Moby Games has something. I will take a look. But that was ZombiU. My phone's blowing up. So I'm going to take a quick look. We'll consider this a little coffee break. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything too crazy here. We have an extremely busy stretch of time here with lots of stuff going on at work, and I am sort of working on two different things at work right now, my main job and then helping out with some other console compliance work. So my brain is stretched real thin. Um, but it is my brain might be stretched real thin, but after Zombie U, the best manual I've read yet, I'm announcing it. I am restored. I am restored. I feel like I walked into a fairy fountain, and I'm back. Now we're gonna see what happens to my brain after I read Fighting Force. on the PlayStation. I recently got I won. I'm gonna say I won a hey McMahon, how's it going? Thanks. First time chat. A good start to the day. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for joining. Oh, the noise earlier was from a follow. Thank you, McMahon. I appreciate that. McMahon, I apologize if my pronunciation is bad here. I'm still working off the high of ZombiU. So we'll find out offline potentially who did the manual for ZombiU. McMahon. Okay, thank you. I had it right the first time. That's good. All right. See, there you go. A pro, a real pro. I got a little. I won a an eBay auction for some manuals. And one of them that came in was Fighting Force, which is something that I presume is going to have quite a lot of story to it, quite a lot going on potentially. This era of like PlayStation game where it's sort of like you're still in the zone from a video game standpoint of like the 16-bit vibes are still there, but things are moving up a little bit is a really interesting place from a manual standpoint for me. But I won this bid on like a lot of PlayStation manuals. It was pretty good. I don't want to spend more than 20 bucks. I don't want to spend more than like a dollar or two per manual if I'm ever buying them. So this worked out really well. I got like 38 of them, I think, for about 20 bucks. So that was pretty neat. So one of them is right here. And we got Fighting Force. It says that this disc, which I don't have, only the manual, includes demos of Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Tomb Raider 3, and Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko. We read Gex 2 on stream recently. You can also buy Fear Factor and Fighting Force 2 because this is the greatest hits collection version of Fighting Force. My understanding of Fighting Force was that it was originally pitched as a Final Fight sequel, and it didn't quite get off of the ground. I love the character designs. I had never played it, but this is one of those games that I always sort of wanted and for some reason never played. But we're going to do the introduction here. I have about 23 minutes, so we'll see if we can get through it. If it's anywhere near as in depth as ZombiU, we are in trouble. So yes, the manual multiverse. This manual, we'll say that this manual exists in the universe of Final Fight, the Final Fight extended manual universe. Introduction, place, Earth, time, years past the millennium. It is a few years past the millennium, and Dr. Dex Zeng is infuriated. We got Dr. Dex Zeng. As a former high-powered government agent, excuse me, with his nose in many areas, including the seedy and licentious New York underground. That's a first for video game manuals, licentious. We had the first use of the word shit in the last manual, and the first use of the word licentious in this manual, as far as I can tell. As well as a renowned radical scientist and professor in theology, Dr. Dex Zeng truly believed the end of the world would come by the year 2000. Events occurring toward the turn of the century confirmed to Dr. Zeng that the year 2000 would bring Armageddon. We got a little Y2K on our Wednesday morning. The signs were clear. Zeng was so sure, in fact, that he even convinced many of his ex-employees who happened to be prominent members of local militias that this was fact, and they helped him prepare for this almighty conclusion. Zhang is like a better functioning idiot savant. He's brilliant in what he does. He sets his mind to a goal and achieves it, no matter what. Over the years, Zhang has developed a licentious megalomaniacal complex that many suspect may have been caused by the use of synthetic drugs that he's made for the government and tested on himself and other family members. Like the few megalomaniacs in history, he actually thinks he is the keeper of the earth, the Father Nature, the chosen one. He feels that anyone in his presence should bow before him as though he were a god. This is a lot of vocab. Yeah, this is a vocab test episode. This is pretty good. When the millennium hit us at 12:01 a.m. January 1st, 2000, 2000. I have no idea why I read it that way. 2000. Nothing happened. Filled with outrage, intensified by those who surround him, Dr. Dex Zeng insists that something went wrong. He knows from his years and years of reading, teaching, and hypothesizing that it was supposed to happen. Fortunately, Dr. Zeng had a plan in case something like this did happen. He's prepared to fix the apocalypse, to force it, to correct the malfunction. And the scary part is, This is in all caps. He is one of the very few who can make it happen. Imagine there was reverb there to make it really cool. Dr. Zhang now believes that it is his job to, at any cost, end the world. With the help of biological warfare devices and several militant followers, as well as his connections to the underground, it shouldn't be difficult. But one of Dr. Zhang's lab assistants, Snapper, decides she can no longer stand this man's corruption and calls on a friend to help in stopping him. With this act, she helps bring together what will be known as one of the most volatile teams ever created. It's time to the end of the world. Bum 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 bum. I'm kind of stoked. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of amped after that. It's time to the end of the world. Is pretty good. In a world. All right, so we got a lot. Save your game. We got a software registration card. Who here subscribes to PS Extreme, EGM, PSX, Next Gen? These are all good. Got a Sega Saturn, a PlayStation, an N64. You can tell them that you own one of those. Send it in. Oh boy, we're gonna have to move. We got character profiles, and they are significant. So we got a few character profiles. One is we've got Mace Daniels, who's 21 years old. I'm always so amazed at how young these people are in these manuals. They've done so much. I'm 40 and they've done so much by the time they hit 21. She's 21. She's 5'7", 126 pounds. She's a brunette with green eyes. Her vitals are she's 38, 22, 38 with an IQ of 200. So yeah, 38, 22, 38. Those are considered her vitals. Snapper has contacted a rough and ready private investigator who is well known for her dealings with the city's underbelly. Mace is one hot woman with a taste for blood as well as desire. She's the one who teases and taunts you just before she takes you out. This should have been an After Dark also. Mace Daniels has heard of Dr. Zhang through Snapper and can't believe what she's hearing. She never thought of Dr. Zhang as dangerous, but then again, she hasn't exactly been paying attention to him. She believes the freaked out Snapper and sees this as an opportunity to get some of the things she loves most: danger, fame, and fortune. Mace is okay. Mace is beautiful, kind of like Lara Croft. She's not brash or loud or anything. This game exists in the Lara Croft extended universe, I believe now. She's not brash or loud or anything. She would purr to her assailant rather than say, "Hey, punk." Mace is a woman aware of her sexual magnetism. Yet she couldn't care less about men. She's always being pursued without giving anyone the time of day. This, coupled with her array of martial arts and weaponry skills, make her a fighter who's the envy of men and women alike. But now we've got Hawk Mason. Let's see how they treat toxic masculinity in Hawk Mason, who is 26 years old. He's 6'2", weighs 196 pounds. He is blonde with blue eyes. His biceps are 36 inches. His chest is 48 inches and his neck is 20 inches, and he has an IQ of 187. So these folks are brawny and brainy, and I love that for them. A vigilante now, Hawk Mason was once a freedom fighter for all the social wrongs in the world. Well, nice guys finish last, and Hawk learned that lesson all too well. He's run into Mace several times, and though the two are acquainted, they have never spent any real time together. Hawk has seen Mace fight, and this is the one thing that stirs him inside like nothing else. When What's going on? When Mace approaches him on the job by pinning him to the ground, smiling a sexy smile and telling him that she needs his help, Hawk is definitely stirred. It says, There's some sort of chemistry here, but both are too headstrong and stubborn to admit it. Hawk has several jobs at any given time, but he takes on this job because it is his chance to get closer to the elusive Mace Daniels. In addition to that, he also took the job because it is his first job in a long time that is tinged with a bit of goodness. A heart of gold, the throbbing heart of gold. Then we got Ben Smasher Jackson. He's 29. He's 6'4". He's 280 pounds with brown hair and we don't know his eye color, but he has 48-inch biceps. He has a 60-inch chest. His neck is 26 inches, and oh boy, his IQ is 106. Not quite as brainy as Hawk and Mace. But after Hawk Mason agrees on bringing Dr. Zhang down, he heads to one of the world's most dangerous prisons to find Ben Smasher Jackson. Every time they say his name, Smasher is in parentheses instead of quotes. Um, Ben Jackson has been serving multiple sentences, and the prison is very fond of him. You see, they've been renting Ben Jackson out. The public doesn't know it, but it cuts down inmate deaths, and above all, it brings the prison a wad of money every time he gets sent out. The prison's number one and repeat client of Ben's is Hawk Mason. Hawk has been bribing the prison for years. He wants Ben to be set free and made the bargain to contract Ben 15 times. Sort of like rent to own. Only a few problems. Ben is like a loose cannon. He smashes everything in sight. His temper is immeasurable during heated times, and you never know if he'll turn on you next. Careful, Doc. Careful, careful, Hawk. And then we have Alana McKendrick. Alana McKendrick, who is only 17 years old. She's 5'5", 108 pounds. She has blonde hair with blue eyes. Her vitals are 28, 20, and 28, and she has a 240 IQ. Alana is a raver. She spends her nights dancing away and most of her days with little sleep while she goes to school. The semester is over, and Alana is raging at all the cool warehouse parties where she hangs with her friends. Alana has been planning on putting an end to Dr. Zhang ever since he tried to experiment on her with drugs he created. We find out that Alana is Dr. Zhang's illegitimate daughter. We find out we find out that Alana is Dr. Zhang's illegitimate daughter. Not out of vengeance, but responsibility does she decide she must find some way to stop her stepfather from doing this to others. When Mace comes to her and asks for her help, Alana is overjoyed. A little too overjoyed. Mace wonders if Alana, at her young age, really understands how dangerous this all is. Believe me, Alana knows. I like that there's a me now in this manual. Believe me, Alana knows. It's just not her style to get serious until she's kicking butt. And believe me, some heads will crack. Alana is raging, and believe me, some heads will crack. Then we get Dr. Zhang. Dr. Zhang's age is unknown. That's because he's the bad guy. It's unknown. He is 6'3", weighs 200 pounds. His hair, not applicable because he's bald. His eyes are gray, and his IQ is 300 plus, plus, plus. So he's of indefinite age, but he's a real smarty pants. This crime boss has his name suddenly on everybody's lips. It's as if Dr. Zhang is up to no good. But what is he doing? It seems Dr. Zhang is trying to destroy the world as we know it. What is he really doing? Oh, wait, what he is really doing is still a little bit of a mystery, but it does involve some low down, dirty tricks. Hits and tips? Pickups. Be on the lookout for first aid kits and food items to replenish your health during your mission. Try punching and kicking as many objects as possible, for they may conceal useful items. Or be used as weaponry throughout the game. You never know what you might find. When enemies are defeated, certain items may appear: coins, cash, gold bars, jewels. Pick up as much as you can to increase your score. You can also call the Eidos hint line. It's a 900 number, which only costs 95 cents per minute, and you must have your parents' guidance. We have, let's see, there's credits at the end here. The lead programmer was Mark Avery. Robert Cirillo was the lead graphic artist. Let's see if we have any manual people here. The producer was Ken Lockley. I do not see anything here for Eidos Interactive. Excuse me. Mike Schmidt was the producer. James Poole is the director of developer ops. Testing was done by Michael McHale, who is the lead tester, Tim Moore, Corey Fong, Jeremy Hunter, Philip Baker, Eric Adams, before he became a mayor of New York, and I presume John Arvey. I don't see anything on the manual here. However, they do say in the special thanks, Mark Silvestri and Top Cow Productions for their work on the Fighting Force characters and storylines. So maybe they wrote the copy here. Whoever did, thank you very much. I quite enjoyed it. So that's it. There was a lot there. Kind of flew through that, but I'm a big fan of both of these. These were awesome. I will continue to do essentially zero preparation for reading time, story video manuals, video books, booklets. The booklet show. I don't know. I don't know what I'm calling it anymore. So these ones were good. So Fighting Force and Zombie U. Thank you so much, Beachatron. Thank you. Good pulls. They are good pulls. And that's the fun of manuals. It seems like there are quite a lot of good ones out there. So lots more to read. With all that said, let's go ahead and call it for today. I have to go prepare for some calls, for some meetings, for some job, and hope to see everybody later. And thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, McMahon. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. And excuse me, happy Wednesday. Hope everybody does well and see y'all soon. Bye bye.